Today, I'm going to be talking to you about increasing conversion, not at the top part of the funnel, but actually at the retention level. So how to get more customers to keep coming back, or clients to keep coming back and buying your solution over and over again. It seems I'm recovering from a cold too, so everyone today has this weird voice. So please excuse me. So here's what we're going to be talking about today, and it looks like we're about 15 minutes over time, so hopefully it won't be too over time. So what we're going to be talking about today is why customers buy more of the same thing, the 3 pillars of a high converting retention strategy, and tested and proven tactics for increasing conversions, which is basically stuff that I have done to increase my clients' retention. So again, my biggest focus is doing conversion optimization. So I go in, I do a very deep analysis, and I find out what would be the best way to optimize that part. And it could be a landing page, a homepage, it could be maybe an e-commerce site, it could be mobile site, whatever it is. But the main focus is always going to be on why customers buy. And that's usually emotion. So I call it emotional targeting. But I'd like to start with why retention even matters. So when you look at the funnel, most marketers believe that the path to high converting funnels basically consists of 3 steps. And that is driving traffic to a landing page, analyzing the results, that you get from the landing page, which is the conversion, and then optimizing. So basically you drive traffic, you bring people to the landing page, they convert, and that's it, it's done. Basically it appears that once, there's a conversion, the funnel simply ends. And that doesn't really make sense, right? Because at the end of the day, we all know this. I think everyone's heard this so many times. It is 5 times more cost effective to retain a customer than acquire a new one. So you're going to be spending so much more time, essentially, and money and resources driving people to your website and driving traffic to your website and trying to convert them into customers than you would if it was you actually trying to turn in your existing customers or existing clients into continuously returning clients and customers. In fact, companies, the most successful e-commerce businesses who focus on lifetime value, which is retention, see over $600,000 more in monthly revenue after just 6 months in the business. So that's like 3 times faster than their competitors. It's insane. So it really is important to essentially retain those clients that you have and customers. And I want to show you a few stats. So there is a 27% chance that a customer that bought from you once will actually be a repeating customer. And once they've done that once that they've repeated themselves, there's actually a 45% chance that they'll repeat themselves again. And then there is a 54% chance that you'll get a 4th purchase. So all you have to do is essentially work on getting that 2nd purchase, work on getting that person coming back 2nd time, and you're on the right way to gaining better customers that keep coming back and making more money. Finally, I'd like to say, when you look at the budgets that companies are spending, so you'll notice like most marketing budgets are spent on driving traffic to a website. And that actually accounts for 41% of a site's revenue in average. But essentially, returning visitors, so far less marketing budgets are spent on retention, but it actually is the average of 59% of a site's revenue. So even though new visitors generate the most site visitors and have the majority of the marketing budgets, on average, they only generate 41% of a site's revenue. So why isn't retention part of the funnel? Why is it that when we talk about conversion optimization or funnel optimization, it always ends with that conversion? I think that the funnel should actually look like this. You drive traffic to your landing page, you work on increasing conversions and getting that buy-in, and then you work on engagement and retention. And you constantly want to bring people back. Now, too often there's a discussion around retention go around simple tactics to get people to just make their second purchase faster. But there's so much more to it. Retention is more than that. You're not just getting people to buy for the second time. You're not just getting people to commit to you for a second time and do a second purchase. You're trying to change your customers' buying habits and connect to them on a deeper level. The basis of all this is that the root of every conversion is our decision-making process. So it doesn't matter what you're selling. The only way to optimize your funnels and create a retention process that converts is by understanding why your customers are buying from you, what makes them buy your specific product. And I'd like to show that to you today. So let's take a look at what makes people become loyal customers and what makes them purchase the same products over and over again. So the first reason is that a good deal of our purchases is actually made as we sleepwalk through the aisle. We gravitate to the default websites, just the same as you grab the same brand of milk every time, toilet paper and sugar, without giving the others so much as a glance. So think about it. You're in the brick and mortar supermarket. You're walking around. You always go for the same products, same milk, same cheese, same bread, same sugar, because it's a habit. Now, we are creatures of habit. Psychologically, our brains prefer the constant and tend to repeat our previous actions. This is most commonly known as the status quo bias. Now, this means that when we buy something, if we feel good about it, we want to continue buying it. We will come back. So it's important for us to understand what the status quo bias is and why people actually buy things. So we are creatures of habit. If you're able to create habit within your clients or your customers, you'll see the returning purchase. Reason is post-purchase rationalization. So this is actually most commonly known as choice supportive bias. So this trigger affects our tendency to persuade ourselves through rational argument that the purchase we just made was a good one. So think about it. If you've ever gone to a store and purchased a top that costs $200 and you know that, deep down that was a stupid buy because it was too expensive, or you could have gotten it cheaper, you will rationalize every reason to why you had to get that top. Or you'll try and make yourself feel good about it. So your online shoppers do the same. They take additional steps after converting, committing further to your product, to your brand, because they want to feel better about their decision. So if you take away that opportunity to engage in post-purchase rationalization, you're basically missing out on a huge opportunity. So you have to give people the option to actually do more once they've converted in order for them to feel good about their purchase. And the last one is kind of an addition to post-purchase rationalization, and that is foot in the door technique. So once someone has performed a small action, they're more likely to continue performing additional actions and even feel obligated to go along with larger requests. So in marketing, as I said, we like to call this foot in the door technique. We get our customers to perform a certain action, say submit their email address to get a free ebook. And then knowing that they will continue with another action. So once they have put in their email for that ebook, they will submit additional information about their goals in the company. Once a visitor has already taken the first steps on your landing page to convert, that means signing up, downloading, contacting you, requesting a demo, they are far more likely to perform additional actions on your thank you page, for example. So retention is so imperative, not just to make more money, but to actually help customers feel good about themselves, to create habits for them, and to actually understand that once someone takes a certain action with you, they're far more likely to take another. So it's so important, instead of sending people to their email, to actually ask them to do something immediately and get them to take that next step. So the path to creating a successful retention program is understanding that retention is about forming habits. We've started discussing this before. Habits are those little things that we do without noticing. So We pick up our phones when we have no one to talk to, right? We kind of get embarrassed and we pick it up. It's an action that is rooted in our behavior and it has become a habit, just like buying that specific brand of milk. So to form a habit within your customers, you have to understand the customer's pain, okay, and ingrain it in their minds that you are the solution, the medicine for them. So what you want to do is create a habit within your clients, and you want to show them that even though they're experiencing a pain, your solution is the right one for them. And once you create that habit, they will keep coming back for you. Now, if you haven't already, I really suggest that you read Nir Eyal's book, Hooked, where he explains how to turn your product into a habit, basically. It's a really, really good book, highly recommended. So there are 3 different things that make people keep coming back and buying stuff, and we've discussed that. But more importantly, I want to discuss the 3 pillars of a retention strategy that will make people keep coming back and buying from you. Now, there are 3 pillars of it. If you have these 3 pillars set up, you will have customers that keep coming back for more every single time. So the first pillar is make it about the customer. This is actually the holy grail of my emotional targeting methodology I mentioned at the beginning. It applies to all aspects of marketing and, of course, retention. The better you understand your customers and make it about them, the more loyal the customer. So while most companies essentially make it about themselves, they highlight their pricing, their benefits, their rewards that they've won. Those who stop talking about themselves and highlight the customers will actually win the customer. If you understand the customer and you make it about them, you will come out a winner. And the bottom line of it is that no matter what you're selling, what people really care about isn't the what, it's the why. Essentially, you're not the hero of the story, your customer is. And unfortunately, too many businesses make it about themselves. They talk about their own pricing. They talk about how amazing they are. They talk about the rewards that they've won, but they don't make it about the customer. And I want to show you an example. So this is a website that allows you to create beautiful infographics and presentations. And if you look at the website, you'll notice that everything here is about the product. So it's an easy to use infographic creator. There's all these features and all these bullets coming up that explain to you why this product is better than other products. And their main visual is a how to use video. So everything here is about the product. And essentially, for the customer to know what's in it for them. Now, we did our research, our emotional targeting research, and found that the framework, and we found basically that people, these customers are marketers, and they want to stand out in a sea of marketers. They want to stand out. They want to make a good impression easily without design skills. They want to be noticed, and they want to create something memorable. Now, I'm not going to get into the entire process that we did today, but essentially the idea is that we tried to make it about them. We created a new variation once we did all our research, and our research involves many different things, which I will show you in a minute. But thanks to the research and thanks to finding what our customers care about the most, we were able to create this variation. First, we're showing the outcome. Make impressive infographics. We're empowering the customer and telling them that they can do this in less than 10 minutes. And the main visual is the outcome. It's not how to use the product. It's what the product might look like, how you can create a beautiful, how you can create a infographic. Now, our clients kind of immediately said, we need to highlight more benefits. It doesn't highlight the product and what it does. But this is the great thing of A/B testing. We were able to run an A/B test and show them that actually this is a very good variation. It helped us increase a lot of the registrations. So we got more registrations, which is great, 24%. But more importantly, we got a 76% increase in creation of infographics and presentations. And this is really important because once someone starts using the product and starts creating presentations and infographics, they are essentially going to come back and use this product. So we're creating a habit. We're helping people understand what's in it for them. We made it about them. So we made it about the customer. We understood what they were looking for, what they cared about, and the customer can immediately see what's in it for her. Now, I showed you an acquisition, an acquisition funnel of how we took a landing page at the top of the funnel and made it about the customer, and it increased not only registrations, but also the bottom line, engagement. But this also works for retention, actual retention, bringing people back. So this is an example of getting people to take the next step. So it's a landing page that people have to, download a product. And once they downloaded the product, instead of just saying, just showing them that they need to install something, we added a thank you page which said, hey, click here to protect your files. Now, this isn't a message saying download or get started. It's a message that says, if you click this, you're going to protect your files. So we're making it about them. And this is really the secret to everything, because we increased product implementation by this small little change, by taking it away from install now, by taking it away from, just click here to protect your files. We increased product implementation by 39%. And this is, at the end of the day, so important for us to understand that when you make it about the customer, they will care, they read on, they convert, and they return. And that is the secret source of it. If you make it about your customer, they will understand what's in it for them. They will understand that you can help them solve that pain that they have all the time. So how do you make it about the customer? Well, there's customer surveys, there's customer interviews. We analyze competitor websites. We do interviews from our customer success team, and we do many different things. But at the end of the day, customer surveys are probably the most important thing. So many companies are making assumptions about their audience. They're absolutely sure they know what their customers care about, but they don't. So I really suggest speaking, not just by doing surveys, but by doing interviews, speaking to your customers, asking the important questions, and making sure that people actually understand, why, that you understand why people are buying from you. And if you understand that, the path to a high retention program is so much easier. Now, the second pillar is building trust and forming a relationship. This is imperative because people don't just buy from a company anymore. They're buying from people. We expect, when we buy from someone, we expect to trust you and we expect to form a relationship with you. In fact, 83% of customers say that their loyalty to your brand is driven by trust. Trust is one of the important parts to increasing sales and retention. So if customers feel safe and secure, they're more prone to come back and become loyal customers. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just was like, you.
No, well, we started like at 15 minutes later, so I'm only halfway through. If you prefer.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so as I said, trust is really important, and we move on to loyalty. Sorry, not loyalty. So 60% of consumers report that brand engagement is more likely to make them a loyal customer. So if we engage our customers, we actually will build trust and we'll get people to come back. So when you think about it, I know so many companies that collect emails from their customers, but they actually don't email them because they're worried that people don't want to hear from them. But if you don't email them, if you don't engage with your clients, if you don't remind them who you are, they're not going to come back. So engagement is extremely important. Trust is extremely important. And how do you actually build trust and form a relationship? So A, you want to recognize them. So returning customers expect you to remember them. It could be via a cookie, or it can be that they're signed in to your product, but show them that you know them, either with a welcome back message, a notification about their progress, or perhaps even showing them who of their friends has also shopped on your site, for example. So you can use a Facebook widget. The other thing you want to do is use social proof. So this matters in retention too. You have to keep reminding them and highlighting new reviews, testimonials, and really show high interest in your product. You want to use personalization. So remember that people see between 4,000 and 10,000 messages a day. So that means our brains are very tired, and we need to be told what to look at and what to do. So the more personalized you get, the better. You can personalize content according to geographical location, local currency, shipping to their town, a local phone number. There's so many things you can do. So you really want to make people feel that you know them. And the last thing is, of course, email marketing, but we're not there yet. We'll get to email marketing in the next section. But, email marketing is a great way to create a connection with your customers and form a relationship and increase retention. Now, we spoke about making it about your customer. We spoke about forming trust and relationships. And the third pillar is actually engagement. So you need to engage your customers. And this is a build on, right? If people want to feel trust, they want a relationship, and they want you to engage them. Actually, B2B businesses with high customer engagement achieve 50% higher revenues and sales. And 33% of people do not review their memberships if companies don't engage them. So it is crucial that you engage your clients, not just collect their email, but actually speak to them. So gamification is a great way to do that. Every element of gamification addresses the hooked model, which you can read about later on, but it gets them invested in your product. It allows them to set goals for themselves, earn points, reviewing items, writing recommendations, everything in that aspect. Surveys and chat, so you can reach out to your existing customers and engage with them, ask them questions, ask them what they care about, and see how you can create a better website and experience for them. You can host webinars with content that they care about in your industry. You can use email marketing, and you can also build a community, a group like on Facebook, on Slack, wherever it is, in order to kind of keep people together. And you can offer exclusive content. These are just minimum ways of, just a handful of ways of showing and engaging your customers and making them come back. Because if you remind them who you are all the time, increase trust, make them feel good about themselves, make it about them, they will keep coming back. So that was the second pillar. And the third pillar, and the third thing we're going to be talking about today is tested and proven tactics for increasing conversions in retention. So up until now, we discussed why people buy more things and the same stuff over and over again. And we understand that it's a psychological thing. And then we discussed the three pillars. And the three pillars are making it about the customer, increasing trust and loyalty, and engagement, and basically building a relationship with your customers. Once you've done all those, program that's going to work so much more better than that. And I want to show you a few tactics that I use to increase retention. These are proven ways that I've done, that I've tested for hundreds of clients, and I've seen them work time and time again. So the first thing is using thank you pages. I'm seeing pop up to just say thank you, or if they do, saying, hey, go check your email. But thank you pages are the most underrated and underappreciated page that you have in your funnel. It actually can increase your conversion rates tremendously. Don't send people to their email. Get them to perform an action right within your thank you page. Remember that psychological trigger we discussed at the beginning, foot in the door technique. They've already signed up. They're ready to take another step. Tell them what to do. So here are a few ways that I use thank you pages to increase retention. So the first thing is I validate leads. So I have a thank you page and I say, hey, my name is X from the co-founder of this company. Someone from my team is about to contact you. In the meantime, can you tell me more about yourself? So the people that fill in this questionnaire are people that are high-end leads. These are warm leads that need to be contacted immediately. And you get more information about your client just by adding a survey or a few more questions on the thank you page. Another cool way that I've tested before is actually, utilizing the choice supportive bias. So inviting them to read previous reviews and testimonials on your site. It increases a sense of trust with your brand and affinity. And at the end of the day, they really understand, are constantly reminded that they made a good decision. And that is important because we mentioned that at the beginning, that people want to feel good about their purchase and their decisions. Next, you can actually deliver, more content that they want. So here's another thing. If you can't share testimonials and reviews, you can actually share case studies or maybe blog posts. You can actually use a thank you page to gain knowledge about your target audience. So run a survey and poll them. Why did you sign up? What were the biggest problems that you had? How do you think this is going to solve your pain? This is a great way to really get more information about your customer right within the thank you page. If you send them to their email, likely they're not going to answer. But if they're on the page already and they've already taken a step, it's more likely that they will convert. Next, of course, you can actually send people to your blog. You can increase shareability and distribution to get people to share the stuff that they just did. You can actually advertise a specific promotion, so tell them to download X product, or tell them to essentially, that you have a specific deal and it's worth trying right within the thank you page. So it's a great way to use the thank you page. And you can get people to sign up to your newsletter. So that's a great way to get more subscribers and increase your email marketing capabilities. So that's thank you pages. I really do urge you to use them. Second, email marketing. So we all know email marketing is paramount when it comes to retention. I'll just show you that there's more to just a post-purchase email, which I know is what most people do. So they just send you an email. But look, so this company, Forever Lazy, they ask you a question. They ask you to write a review right within the email. Another thing you can do is actually just tell them, hey, just before we're shipping, there's more products for you that you can download. And it's using personalization. It increases a sense of trust and sets customers at ease. It creates a stronger connection with your customers because you're introducing them, to more products. And essentially, you don't even have to have just, here's more products. You can send an email with a photo of your team. You can let them know what's happening with that product and when it's going to be shipped. You can tell them how excited you are. There's so many things you can do within your email marketing that are more than just hey, thank you for buying and your product is on its way. Don't forget that you can leverage loss aversion. So this is our tendency to avoid losses rather than gains. So most studies suggest that we feel more discomfort with loss than we feel good about gaining something. So telling people that they're about to miss out, using FOMO is a great way to increase retention rates. Another thing that you can do with email marketing is create brand ambassadors, get people to share your stuff to get some swag. Glassdoor does a great job by Nextdoor gives you a great idea of hey, this is a private neighborhood. People want to feel like they're an exclusive group. You're kind of branding it and differentiating between them and us. Great way to use email marketing. And the third way that I use that I increase retention is with personalization. So as we said, I save them time by showing them, hey, I haven't been logged in for X amount of time, but here is, the products that you were on and you were seeing before you left. And another thing that you do is make it about them, which is, hey, these are things that we've found that are similar to stuff that you've bought before, and we recommend you buying. And they're also using loss aversion over here with telling you that there's only 3 products left.